This is my kayak here. It's a 12-foot Hobie. Very wide boat, 34.5 inches wide. I like that because it gives me a lot of stability on the water. One of the unique things about a Hobie boat is that its propulsion is with a pedal drive. Very easy motion. You can keep this motion up for 5, 6, 8 hours and not notice it. Cover a lot of territory. Everything that I have in the boat, rod holders or other equipment, I have it clipped in so that if I get swamped or if a big fish pulls me, I'm not losing my equipment. GPS fish finder here. Each time you mark a fish, it's putting a number and it's also recording the date and time that you've done it. So I keep a journal. And if I want to go back and identify, okay, which number was the biggest fish at what time of year, what were the moons like, what were the tides like, it provides a record for me. My power supply for the fish finder is up in my front hatch here. Little basket in here, a waterproof box here that's hanging. I use rechargeable batteries and a little $1.95 holder to string 8 of them together. And I like that because I can keep a alkaline battery backup. In case I lose power, I can switch over when I'm on the water. I also keep an extra fuse in my container and a little bit of electrical grease, which I put on the battery covers. When I take off my fish finder, I put that on the tip as well. I lost a fish finder last year from corrosion, so this has worked out well for me. One of the things about when you're in a kayak with a fish finder, you need to disconnect the battery at the end of fishing. Even if you've taken off the fish finder, just the juice going through the line will corrode your wire, having energy there. Besides the ability to mark where your fish are, where you've caught fish in the past and keep it, if I'm out fishing at night, I tend to fish close to where waves break, close to where rocks are, because that's where the stripers are. My path is marked for me as I go through the water, so that if a fog comes in or if a cloud goes over the moon or whatever it is that I can't quite see as good, I can follow my line backwards. I keep a little tackle box here. Again, like everything else, it's strapped in, has my hooks, essential lures. If I'm fishing tube and worm, which I often fish, I'll put this in the back, and I have a little hatch here, and I can put my worms right in here. Wanting to learn how to fish with pogies, and where do you keep them on a boat? You don't have a live well, or the live wells you could bring on a boat wouldn't be big enough to hold pogies. So what I've got here, this is a simple PVC pipe. This is what you would use to put on the end of your gutter. And it comes with some pre-drilled holes, and I drilled holes all around it. Just made a little hinge on the top of it. Open it up, slide the fish in, face forward for the oxygen. Then you can flip that back. I just used on this a couple of electrical connectors for my hinge and a little bit of duct tape so that this is thicker and fits a little tighter here. Hang it over on the sides on a rope. This will hold about 6 or 8 pogies. I try to be as safety conscious as I can. So I just screw this in, and then I'm visibility from much higher up with the boats, because you'd be surprised if you're ever on a boat and you look at kayaks, you'd be surprised the lack of visibility there. The thing that I always carry with me along the same lines is a horn. I've never needed it, but again, fog comes in and you happen to be making a crossing, there are boats around. It's a great way to let people know you're around. It's nice to have a life jacket with some pockets in it. I always have a double waterproof bag that I put my cell phone in. I chose to get a bright one, again, to show things up in a distance. Have a whistle on it. Nice to have a kayak vest with a knife on it. Keep that knife lubricated. You go over sometime, you get caught up in one of your lines, an anchor line, a boat line, and you're stuck under waves. You need something by your side to be able to cut stuff. I carry a sponge with me in case there's a little water that builds up in the bottom. These sponges are nice because they absorb a lot of water per volume. You can move water out quickly there. Particularly if I'm going out on ambitious days, I'll have a pump. You can put the pump in here, and right here I can just pump the water right out through the scupper hole. I have read where someone with one of these boats got 4 inches of water in it, the boat capsized, he had to swim and haul the boat a long way, so this is a good precaution. I bring extra clothes depending on the weather. I bring extra batteries for my light, for my fish finder. I have headlamps. I bring power bars. You are the propulsion system for your boat, and you need to have enough to keep energy in your body. Also water. I carry water with me and I strap that in as well so that I'm well hydrated. I have my line here. I use this hook if I on rare occasions where I use an anchor, I can hook the anchor up to it and I can pulley it back and forth if I want the anchor set in front or in back. And then the other thing that I'll do with it is if I catch a fish and choose to keep it, I have a little stringer with me. And I'll just hook it to the side here and be able to keep the fish alongside of me.